It was held in 1993 to honor the musicians who worked so hard to imbue the local music scene with their industry. Now, the Sammys has lived on since its founding in 1992, which speaks to the dedication of the volunteers on the Sammys Executive Committee, aiming to bring Syracuse's most prominent musicians to the forefront of public attention. Now, the Sammys Hall of Fame induction will be Thursday, March 5th. It's upstairs at the Dinosaur Barbecue, 7 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $25 and can be purchased at SyracuseAreaMusic.com. Now, the SAMMY Award show will be Friday, March 6th at the Palace Theater right here in Eastwood at 7 p.m. Tickets are $20, and those are available at Soundgarden and also at our website, SyracuseAreaMusic.com. Now, the People's Choice online voting is now open. You can vote once every day, SyracuseAreaMusic.com/People's Choice. Vote for your favorite artist or band, venue to see live music, local festival or music series, and academic or musical organization. Now, something to note here, there are 131,000 votes already. That's up from 89,000 at the same point last year. So, round of applause for that. That's great. All right, on to the Syracuse Area Music Awards. It's proud to present the following Hall of Fame inductees. First on the list, Mossback Mule Band. Now, the Mossback Mule Band, enriched by diverse musical influences and great group chemistry, continues to sustain the ensemble that formed in the early 1970s. Now, although there have been a number of noteworthy lineups, for the past 15 years, the group has consisted of founding members Steve Quinville, Dave Liddy, Hal Kent, and until his passing in 2016, Bob Fleming. Now, along with regular appearances by original member Jeff Baker, the group is joined by drummer Dave Pallas, and they still play their unique style of Western swing, country blues, and boogie woogie that found widespread popularity for over 4 decades. Now, since their inception, the Mossback Mule Band has performed in concerts with Orleans, Freddie King, Charlie Daniels, Leonard Skinner, Hal Williams Jr., Pure Prairie League, Commander Cody and the Subdues, and other national acts, but their appeal is large in part due to the inclusion of Central New York music community. So, another round of applause. Next nominee heading into the Hall of Fame, Mr. Tim Fox. Tim has covered Central New York music and the arts for nearly 40 years. He developed the morning show Bridge Street and has served as executive producer throughout much of its 16-year run. He's produced hundreds of local hours of local programming, parades, Christmas music specials, telethons, town halls, documentaries, sports talk, magazine formats, infomercials, and more. Now, Fox grew up in Cortland and graduated from Syracuse University's SI Newhouse School of Public Communications. Along the way, Tim has taught broadcasting at both Newhouse and Cazenovia College, hosted CNY's Muscular Dystrophy Telethon for 30 years, chaired the United Way Community Campaign, appeared with Syracuse Stage, the Syracuse Symphony, Syracuse Opera, the Landmark Theater, Red House, and Cortland Repertory Theater. He shared the stage with MASH's Loretta Swit and Quiz John Cusack for a Civic Center crowd. Co-hosted the iconic radio show Teen Talk for 6 years and worked with the Syracuse Area Music Award from the start as a presenter, producing tribute videos, as a producer of weekly Sammy Spotlight segment on Bridge Street. His proudest professional achievement to date has been pulling together a 6-market telethon within 3 days of the 9/11 attacks. He raised over $1 million in an evening for the American Red Cross. He and his wife Cheryl, proud parents of Ryan, a recent SUNY Oswego broadcasting graduate. So, another round of applause for Tim. Next on the list is Seth Marcel. Syracuse native Seth M. Bradford discovered his love for music early in life. His journey began as a local DJ at age 14, spinning tunes during what would later be dubbed the golden era of hip-hop. Now, his curiosity led him to seek out how exactly the music he was playing was actually made. This was the artistic birth of DJ, producer, writer, and rapper affectionately known as Seth Marcel. Now, his earlier projects including recordings for Baby Doll Records and VOA Records in 1989. In the early 1990s, he moved from behind the producer's table and teamed up with family member Eddie Dowdell to form the group Channel 3, which was awarded the first ever SAMMY Award for hip hop in 1993. Now, the group repeated Sammy's success with another award in 1994. Marcel was also a member of the acclaimed Mad Pack, a coalition of 3 local rap groups merged into one unit in 1994. Upon disbandment of Mad Pack, Marcel and Dowdell underwent a name change and became Mind Theory. The duo was signed by On Point Entertainment in the fall of 1997. Now, music from his catalog has been featured in numerous television shows from networks including ESPN, BET, Fox, and HBO, to name a few. His name is synonymous with professionalism, excellence, and artistry. His influence on the local scene has endured, and as such, has placed him among the most revered and respected artists in Syracuse's hip-hop community. So another round of applause for Seth. Next on our list is Judy Marinas. Now, Judy's had a pretty amazing career, and there's a lot of information here, so I'm just going to kind of give you a brief little summary, but it's unbelievable what she's accomplished. Judy was born and raised in Syracuse, New York, and moved on to the University of Buffalo for the first 2 years of college in the early 1970s. Now, her first semester junior year, she spent abroad in Manchester, England, in an elementary education teacher program. Deciding at the point where there was more to life, she left the program and spent 6 more months in Manchester before reluctantly returning to Syracuse in June of 1975 without any plan whatsoever. However, by August, she found herself, via the Syracuse University Summer Orchestra, invited to play violin with a young female accomplished guitarist doing her own original music. This person had just moved back to Syracuse from San Francisco. That person turned out to be Janice D'Amico, was the electric guitar player in one of the country's first all-female rock bands called Sweet Jenny Grit in the very early 70s, and it was based in Syracuse. Now, from acoustic concerts to more attempts at electric rock and roll bands, fed by the pipeline of creativity and determination coming out of and being inspired by newly established Women's Writer Center at Casanova College. Remember, this was back dab in the middle of the 70s feminist movement. Judy ended up on the side of the microphone and stage that she was not comfortable with. It was, It was also at this time she was discovered that the microphones and cables were actually set up and managed by someone, and when that person was overheard one say they could not remember if the violin could be heard or not, Judy knew where her new home would be, front of house behind the soundboard. Now, in 1977, Judy was accepted into the Newhouse School of Syracuse University as a junior, as an independent adult, armed with a work-study grant. She put her name at the bottom of a very long list of wannabe audio techs for the single position available in the audio services department on the 3rd floor of Newhouse. Now, after stopping by every day for a week, Bill Cooper agreed to hire her, not because she harassed him, but he assumed because she was persistent. Now, after graduation, live sound opportunities were the first to present themselves, but only by female bands, of course, who would hire a girl soundman. Laura and the Leg Warmers, as well as Flight of Phoenix, were the first. But in April 2011, things surprisingly came full circle. 36 years after abandoning a possible career as an elementary school environment, an unexpected email from a long ago application came in asking her to fill in for an elementary school concert in a private school in Lower Manhattan. This led to an 8-year position as she made herself more and more indispensable to both the lower school, pre-K through 5, and the upper school, 6 through 12, by providing IT support, classroom technology installation, and teacher assistance, high standard support for virtually every special public event designed to impress and recruit new potential students and families, as well as for every concert in both schools. Now, as the school tripled in size, she played a major role in the elevation of performing arts department's productions, as taking the school musical from 12 microphones to 40 microphones. After the class of 2019's graduation ceremony, she announced her departure as a time to retire on from what turned out to be quite the departure from her original plans made in the summer of 1984. Judy would like to thank Megan Voss and Steve Jordan for asking her to send them a summary of her career, forcing her to review it, and the Sammys committee for finding it interesting. So another round of applause. Okay, so now on to our Music Educator of the Year, and that is Casey Vanderstouw. Mr. Casey Vanderstouw is the president of the New York State Field Band Conference and the proud director of the Baker High School Band Program in Baldwinsville, New York. Now, his roles include directing the Baldwinsville Bees Marching Band, Concert Band, Plan B Pop Band, Jazz Band, and coordinating the Winter Marching and Color Guard programs. Now, under his direction, the Baldwinsville Marching Band has enjoyed numerous accolades. The band has performed in both the prestigious Tournament of Roses Parade in 2020 in Pasadena, California, and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 2014. Now, the band has won multiple New York State championships, performing for the New York Jets and Buffalo Bills, as well as appearing in multiple college bowl games. Now, the band has performed as overnight guest at the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and performed a salute for military veterans on board the USS Intrepid in Manhattan, New York. Now, Mr. Vanderstouw founded the Plan B Pep Band at Baldwinsville in 2009, in addition to appearing in numerous television appearances and sporting events throughout the state of New York. The group has performed as the annual guest house band for the Syracuse men's basketball team from 2011 to the present. In 2018, the band traveled to Nashville, Tennessee, and recorded a 4-track vinyl 45 in the famous Blue Room at Jack White's Third Man Records facility. Now, in 2019, the band released B-Sides, a self-produced full-length vinyl recording of celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the group. Now, in 2018, Mr. Vanderstouw was awarded the Clarkson University Inspirational Educator Award for Outstanding New York State Teachers. In 2019, Mr. Vanderstouw was named the Gal of the Year for the Syracuse St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee and was honored by the city of Syracuse. Mr. Vanderstouw loves providing new performance opportunities for his students and greatly values his role in helping young students achieve success as musicians and citizens. So, congratulations, Casey. Okay, so for the Lifetime Achievement Award recipient, that's going to go to Garland Jeffries. For over 50 years, Garland Jeffries has truly been the king of the in-between. His deep, eclectic song catalog is heavily influenced by his 1950s Brooklyn upbringing and reflects his love of rock, gospel, folk, blues, reggae, and jazz. He's most definitely a songwriter's songwriter. From his self-titled 1973 debut album to his 2017 14 Steps to Harlem, produced by British singer-songwriter James Maddock, Garland has shared his stories, insight, and journey as a mixed-race man, black, white, and Puerto Rican, with honesty, colorful characters, and vivid imagery. He also knew how to cover a song, hitting number 5 on the Billboard charts with his version of 96 Tears by the band Question in the Mysterians. Now, the New York Times critic Stephen Holden says Mr. Jeffries' raw, hungry singing, which combines the fervor of Frankie Lyman and the edge of Mick Jagger, gives an incendiary immediacy. Now, Jeffries illustrates this through his story involving his longtime friend Lou Reed. I met Lou at Syracuse University in the early 60s, and I thought that if this guy can get up and sing a song, then I can too. Lou got up and sang with me, and when he left the stage, I sang Frankie Lyman's song in front of the whole house. Lou got on his knees and bowed down to me. It was both hilarious and absolutely wonderful. He stepped back from touring but continues to write new songs and is working with his wife Claire on a documentary about his long and fruitful life and career. He joins Lou Reed and other Syracuse classmate Felix Cavallari in being honored by the Sammys. So congratulations, Garland. All right, so we're going to bring up a guest. We've got the Founders Award coming up next. We're going to bring up Mr. Frank Malfitano.
Okay, do me a favor. I don't feel comfortable doing this without Liz, so please put your hands together for Liz Nowak. Come on, Liz. Please. God bless you for doing this. Yes. As you keep reminding me, I'm honored to be here today with all of you. Congratulations to all the Hall of Famers. This is an amazing day. And the Lifetime Achievement Honoree and the Educator of the Year Award. It's so great that we have a scene that's so rich, and we continue to celebrate it after I don't know how many years. It's a long time now, almost 30 years. 30 years. So give yourselves a hand, all right? Probably won't come as much of a surprise. I love soul music, and I know you all do too. You know, there was a time in our nation when these groups were prevalent, these male vocal groups with their high fashion massing outfits and their precision choreography and their showmanship and their style and their entertaining ability, and it was amazing. I mean, you could go to clubs. Syracuse had its own soul circuit. You could go to Deb's, you could go to Sid's Hightower Lounge, you could go to Phoebe's Harkay Lounge, you could go to Satellite Club. If you're on the west side, you could go to the Dewdrop Inn, the Thor Lounge, as my friend Ronnie reminded me. I mean, so many great places, the English Inn, et cetera, et cetera. We had a lot of choices, the Clover Club, the Club 800. And there were a lot of groups. You know, we had the Rhythm Cadets with the great Bebo Singleton, the Elderos, the Emeralds, the Quintones, and the Five Points. But sadly, this style of music, male vocal groups, kind of died off, you know, where there was this golden era with the Temptations and the Four Tops and the Isleys and the OJs and the Dramatics. And you know, if you wanted to see that, you had to go to the clubs if you wanted to see it, hear it live. Well, lately, there's one group that's been carrying on this tradition for 4 decades. They've been together under the UAD moniker for 25 years. And I'm here to tell you, it's not too late. It's still here, and it's still great. And if you haven't seen UAD, you really need to see them, because they capture the essence of all those great male vocal groups from Detroit and Chicago and Philly and Memphis. And they carry on the tradition so brilliantly and so admirably. And I'm talking about 4 individuals by the name of Rick Lindsay and Isaac Wynn and Larry Mathis and Saul Brown. And I know that Rick Lindsay and Larry Mathis are with us today, so I hope you'll give them a hand. One of the most exciting and dynamic show bands I've ever seen. Their vocal harmonies are wonderful. It's a combination of the gospel of the black church and the street corner doo-wop of the 50s. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful and contemporary. So I got to get off, and or Liz will kill me. And I just want to say that it is my great honor this year to announce that on Friday, March the 6th, right here at the Palace Theater, it will be my great honor to give the 2020 Sammy's Founders Award to the members of UAD. Congratulations. And thank you.
Okay, next up we've got the Jack O. Pacino Spirit of the Sammys Award, and this year it goes to Marge Nolan. Now, in the 1970s, Dr. Hook in The Medicine Show humorously defined the pinnacle of musical success as getting your picture on the cover of Rolling Stone. For years in Syracuse, the musician knew he or she had made it when the beloved Marge Nolan made an appearance to dance at their gig. Now, Marge was born November 8, 1930, and was raised in Queens, New York. When she was 17, she met the love of her life, Phil Nolan, a young airman on leave from the Air Force, whom she married after a courtship of several years, and they raised their family in New York City. Now, the couple loved to dance, and when Phil passed in 2005, Marge moved to Syracuse, a city her husband had loved because it reminded her of him, and she stayed, and she danced, and boy did she dance. Never having learned to drive, Marge took a cab from her home in Fairmount 4 or 5 times a week to local venues that host live music. Now, a formidable vocalist in her own right, she began attending open mic nights and was renowned for her singing as for her dancing. Now, men a third of her age vied to dance with her. She became so popular a fixture on the nightlife that Fans of Marge Facebook page was created, and she was profiled on Syracuse.com. That 2014 profile, identifying her as Syracuse's biggest music fan, concludes by saying Marge is one of a kind and inspiration, and she was defined by her age, but by her attitude. On August 2nd, 2019, the Syracuse music community was heartbroken to read on the Fans of Marge Facebook page, the amazing Marge transitioned to dance and shine her light with all of her Heaven's all-star bands. Now, we're all better for having known Marge. Truer words were never spoken. Among the multitude of tributes poured by her by the grieving community, one of the compliments said simply, "It won't be Syracuse anymore." Now, it was the same love for Marge that she showed to her local community that the Syracuse Area Music Awards proudly announces Marge Nolan as the 2020 recipient of the Jack Opacino Spirit of the Sammys Award in gratitude of her years of love, passion, and dedication to the music and musicians of our community. Okay, so March 6th, the award show performances. We're going to have Garland Jeffries, Mossback Mule Band, Melissa Gardner, Emma Jude, Seth Marcel, and the Ron Spencer Band. Now, in addition to these performances, awards will be presented in 14 recording academies, as well as the People's Choice Award for Best Band, Best Venue to see live music, Best Festival or Music Series, and Academic or Musical Organization. Now, the Brian Burke Award presented by CNYLive.com for the Best Artist will be announced, and we're going to bring up a special guest, Fred Reed. Fred, if you're here, come on up. He's from CNYLive.com.
There's also other people here, Mike Ross, my newest partner, and Missy Thomas, who's a great person helping us out, making CNY Live a better place for musicians and artists alike. We are extremely proud to be part of this for 3 years running, and this time to be able to present the Brian Burke Award, because the mission statement of CNY Live is about new music, fresh music, and everybody should be making sure they go out and find it. Don't just keep to the old places, go out and find new music and new performers everywhere. Thank you.
All right, now, as in the past, this year's Best New Artist will receive 6 hours of recording time from Subcat Studios. Now, the Sammys Awards are based on the judgment of submissions sent by mail to the Sammys Board of Musicians in Syracuse and the surrounding area. An independent panel of music industry professionals and educators from around the country, led by James Abbott, review the submissions and make their selections based on their merit and their genre. And the nominees are Best Pop, Stephen Phillips for Big Eyes and Rosy Cheeks, and Jenna Cunningham for Seizing Self. Best Hip Hop Rap, Slick Fashion 2, Purple, 315 Cash for A Rough Start Reloaded, Coughlin, Hashtag The Heat, The Real Raw Breed for No Excuse, and MBK Ritchie, RSZ. So for Best Americana and Best Country, we're going to bring up Mr. Skip Clark. Come on up.
Thank you, Joe. It's an honor to be here and be a sponsor of such a great event. As you know, the Wolf is live and it's local, and we support each and every artist regardless of the genre. But I am here today to announce the nominees for Best Americana. Mike Powell for The Full Nelson, live at the Odeon. The Ripcords for Last Dance. Coffee and Beer for Leap. Off the Ground for Cleared for Takeoff. Ghost Town Ramblers for Outlawy Highway. Was it Outlaw? It's a typo. I kind of figured as much when I read it, but that's all right. It's all right. We know what they mean. For Best Country, here we go. The Cadleys for Duets and Ballads. Is this supposed to? I got you. Whiskey Hollow Rush for True Stories. Mr. John Rogalia, A Little Too Country. Emily Harrington for Plans Change. D. Dusk Rogers for Pounded Down by Christmas. Sounds familiar. Once again, on behalf of the Wolf, we're proud to be a sponsor of this, and Joey and all our colleagues in radio, proud to say that we're still here, we're live and local, and we're loving this. So good luck to all the nominees, and enjoy. We'll see you at the celebration. Thank you. Joey?
Okay, next up we've got Best Alternative. Late Earth for 11th Hour. Keep Up, Up in Flames. The Action, 20 Years Alive. Mandate of Heaven, Least Concern. And Divine Myers, Silver Line. Up in the Best Rock category, Atkins Riot, Too Much Whiskey. Underwater Bosses, Aqua La Vista. Chris Eves in the New Normal, One Spark. Slow Train, In Between. Mike Powell in the Black River, Gypsy Winnebago. And Ronnie Dark for Sky. Up next for Best Hard Rock, Chris Weichman, The Heaviest Tenderness. Cry to the Blind, Deliver Me. Ecliptic Vision, Ecliptic Vision. Murder in Rue Morgue, Endless Cycles. And last in the hard rock category, Collation for My Abyss. In the Best Other Style category, Mark Nanny, Towns and Spaces in Between. Josh DeCanny, All the Americas. Leo Crandell and Jaime Withoff, Unknowable and Stunning Thing. Spotlight Studios, A Holiday Spotlight. And O'Connor and Dunn, Which Way to Neverland. In the Best Jam Band category, Big Sexy and the Scrambled Eggs, Road Less Traveled. And Vaporize for their self-titled Vaporize. In the Best Singer-Songwriter category, Dale Randall, All the Love I Know. Andrew Van Ostrand, That We Could Find a Way to Be. Cam Caruso, Up Above and Down Below. Sydney Irving, The Green EP. And Jeffrey Pepper Rogers, Live and Listening. In the Best Blues category, Seth MacLeod, Harriet Tubman Freedom Music Festival Live, Volume 4. King Cool in His Royal Blues, Trainwreck. Diana Jacobs, What She Needs. Chris Terra Band, Lady Luck. And Earl Slick and the West Side Social Club, the West Side Social Club. In the Best R&B category, Gary Carpentier, Lucid. Barroom Philosophers, Digital Demise. Jaquil, Changes. And Alani Sky with Alani Sky. In the Best Jazz category, London McDaniel, Masterpieces. Melissa Gardner, Empowered. And last but not least, in the Best Electronica, Ruby C with Ruby C. And Empires in Orbit, Doom City Limits, and Singles. All right, well, that wraps up all of our nominees. Each year, hundreds of local musicians and members of the Syracuse music community attend the Sammys. Since the first Sammys Award show was held at the Landmark Theater in 1993, this annual celebration of the Syracuse music scene has become the #1 local music event in Central New York. The Board of Directors would like to thank all of our sponsors for supporting this community-focused event, which is produced by a dedicated group of volunteers and supported by grants as well as private and corporate donations. So thank you again to all the sponsors. Thank you to all of you. Congratulations to all the nominees, to all of our Hall of Fame inductees, and we'll see you for both ceremonies. Thank you again. I'm Joe D. from 95X. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your